Hello, everyone. This is Kevin. This is Kevin Cherry, and I am the Deputy Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources and Secretary to the North Carolina Historical Commission. This meeting of the Commission today is being held to consider two items. One is to receive and act upon the Department's Accession Committee's report, and the other is to hear a petition from the Department of Administration to move a monument for the Henry Clay Oak. We now will call our roll to see who all is present. I will only be calling the names of those commission members who've indicated beforehand that they would be present for this special called meeting of the commission. So, Mr. Ivy.
Present.
Ms. Klutz.
Present.
Dr. Denard.
Present.
Dr. Bryan.
Present.
Mr. Reynolds.
Present.
Ms. Snowden.
Present.
Mr. Dixon. Mr. Dixon. Mr. Dixon is not able to join us. I note that we have Dr. Johnson.
Here.
Are there any other members of the commission present whose name I did not call out? That being the case, there are 7 commissioners present. We do have a quorum. You will note that our chairman, David Ruffin, is not with us today. He was not able to join us. That means we must elect an interim chair for this meeting and this meeting alone. Is there a nomination from the body for a interim chair for today?
I would nominate Mrs. Klutz.
Have a nomination?
I move that the nomination of Mrs. Klutz be closed.
I second. And I second as well.
All right. All those in favor of Margaret Klutz serving for one day, for this one meeting as interim chair, please signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed?
I will abstain.
Since there's no one in opposition, we will not call roll for this vote.
And
Mrs. Klutz, if you will allow me,
I will.
And Ms. Klutz, if you can just ask the group to comply with State Ethics Act as chair, if you can just ask the group if there are any conflicts of interest that would require any member to abstain from the matters discussed today.
I will read the statement for you if you would like.
I would very much like for you to read the statement concerning conflicts of interest, yes.
Pursuant to North Carolina General Statute, Section 163A-159E, the chair reminds all members of their duty to avoid conflicts of interest under the State Government Ethics Act. Are there any known conflicts of interest with respect to any matters coming before the Commission? Ms. Klutz, I turn the meeting back over to you.
All right, Mr. Cherry, and I would ask to turn the meeting over to you on the first issue, I guess, which would be the decommissioning of certain items.
Yes, ma'am. I am making the report to the commission on behalf of the Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, Office of Archives and History, Accessions Committee. I would like permission for us to seek only votes by division on these accessions. There are no de-accessions listed. These are only additions to a museum and historic site collections. So there will be for the Division of History Museums and the Division of Historic Sites. The report was sent out ahead of the meeting. The Division of History Museums items proposed for the addition to state collection are found on that report from pages 2 through pages 49.
And Dr. Cherry, if you could mention to the public that.
Oh yeah, this report.
Hey Kevin, it's Sam Dixon. I'm just getting here. Sorry about that.
All right, that's fine. Thank you, sir. This report is posted on the website at www.ncdcr.gov/NCHC. That's where this report may be found for those of you who've not received it email before the meeting, or for the general public who may be listening. So again, the report, pages 2 through 49, are proposed accessions to the Division of History Museums collection. It was voted unanimously by the department's accessions committee to accept all of these items into the state collections if the Historical Commission so approves. So, Madam Chair, I would like to request that the committee would like to request that these items be added to the State History Museum's collection.
Mrs. Klutz, this is Barbara Snowden, and I make the motion that we accept the accessions and the report.
This is Mary Lynn Bryan, and I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion or questions? If not, all those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? If not, we vote to receive the recommended collections for the state historic sites.
That was for the museums. Now I'm going to propose
for the museums.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
okay. For the, we will correct that motion.
The second half of our report is found on pages 50 through 65. These are additions to all of the individual historic sites into the Division of State Historic Sites collection. It was the department's accession committee's desire that all of these items be added to the State Historic Sites collections if approved by the Historical Commission. And that is our report on historic sites items.
Do we have a motion?
Mary Lynn Bryan, and I move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Valerie Ann Johnson, and I second.
We have a second. Is there any further discussion or questions? If not, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, no. I think the motion passed unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. And we have one more action before us today, and that is to relocate a monument for the Henry Clay Oak that is located, which is comprised of 2 bronze plaques attached to an unfinished granite block with an arched top. This is a petition from the Department of Administration to the Historical Commission. The monument is located at the northeast side of East North Street, just to the west of the intersection with North Blunt Street. It is on the same lot that contains the Howell House, and it is near the Andrews Duncan House, and the Andrews Duncan House is located on North Blunt Street. The petition asks the Historical Commission's approval to allow it to move the monument 148 feet to the east. That will allow the Department of Administration to construct a shared driveway for 5 properties, as well as to a parking lot. The proposed location will put the monument in a more prominent and visible location facing North Blunt Street, near the northwest corner of the intersection of North Blunt Street with East North Street. This petition is also located on the website for the North Carolina Historical Commission, and we have noted that website address, but that is located at www.ncdcr.gov/NCHC. The petition has been sent in full before the meeting to all members of the commission, and I have presented a brief summary of that petition. The commission needs to hear and approve or disapprove this petition. We do have a representative of the Department of Administration available to answer any questions if the commission members have any.
One quick question, Dr. Cherry. Do we know anything about a cost that would be associated with this removal or this relocation?
I don't know the cost, but I am assuming we can ask the representative of the Department of Administration. The Department of Administration would be absorbing the cost of the move.
If I may answer, Dr. Cherry, this is Joy Wayman with State Property Office.
Yes, ma'am.
The monument will be moved at the cost of the buyers of the Howell House under the supervision of the State Property Office.
So there will be no expense to the state, Dr. Denard.
Okay. That answers my question.
This is Noah. Technical question. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm sorry.
This is Noah Reynolds. I had a question. I think Bill Ivy had a question also.
No, you go ahead, Noah.
Oh, I had a question about the white oak tree. I didn't know if the existing marker had marked the white oak had obviously had to be taken down in 1991, and it was obvious where it was before it fell down. But I didn't know if the current marker would mark the oak tree as 10 or 15 feet away, and then if you move the marker another 148 feet, is there going to be any sort of location marker on the monument that would say that the original white oak tree was, so many feet in whatever direction away from where you moved the marker? think it was a 300 or 400 year white oak at the time, and it'd be nice to keep track of where it originally was if we do move the marker.
That was not contemplated, as the Daughters of the American Revolution put up the marker, and we could certainly make those arrangements if we want to add a sign or something to that. I'm sure we could make that happen if that is the request of the board. We were moving the actual monument itself, and it will be landscaped and uplighted.
Mr. Ivy, did you have a question?
I was going to make a motion, but of course Noah has made a point that possibly should be included in such a motion. So I was going to move that, I will move to approve the petition, and then subject to some effort being made to designate the original location of the oak tree that Noah pointed out, but subject to that, it also it appears to not be in conflict with the state statutes about moving monuments, and so it seems very appropriate that we do this. So I make the motion to approve the petition, subject to some effort being made to designate the original location of the oak.
We have a motion. Do we have a second to that motion?
This is Sam Dixon. I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Are there further questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Mr. Cherry?
Yes, ma'am. Those are
Is
the
there other
two
business?
actions. No, ma'am. Those are the two action items that we gave public notice to. So those are really the only items that we can discuss or act upon at this meeting.
This is Dr. Johnson. I just wanted to make a commendation remark. Is that possible?
I suppose so.
I think so.
It's up to the chair.
I just wanted to thank and appreciate Sharon C. Bryant, who's the African American Outreach Coordinator at Tryon Palace, and Dr. David Denard, who is on our commission, for that inspiring, enlightening, and intellectually stimulating Junkanoo Symposium that was held last month. It was the best face that we could have put on what we do in North Carolina, especially concerning African American history and heritage. So I just want to thank them and make that a part of our record, that they did a fabulous job. Sharon and her team, as well as Dr. Denard and his team. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if I may add, I accept all compliments and so forth.
All right. Madam Chair, I believe all of our business has been handled.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Cherry, and thank you to everyone who participated and helped us move through this meeting so quickly. If no other business, I think we can stand adjourned.
Just one thing.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Have a
Merry
safe
Christmas and
holiday.
Happy
Happy
holidays
Hanukkah.
to everyone.
Yes.
And happy Hanukkah
Bye.
too.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Aye.